Hey everyone, I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and today we're going to talk about the Bluetti AC200PL. The P is a key distinction in this power station versus the AC200L. And what I've got going on here is I thought I'd just throw a bunch of stuff at it just to give you a taste of what this thing can do. So currently charging this at almost 1800 watts. Currently have 1900 watts, almost 1900 watts, being charged. So you got my one wheel here, got the battery for all my cordless tools, camera batteries, iPad mini, which was basically dead. Got drone batteries being charged, Starlink mini currently running, iPhone being charged wirelessly on the wireless charging pads up here, and then finally a space heater on high, which is pulling like 1200 watts all by itself. And I mean, listen, there's no fans running. Just very, very lightly. Actually, I think that's the fan from this, but it's silent. It is absolutely silent. And I had this in turbo charging mode. So, but it's pulling all this, it's charging, and it's quiet. No loud fans running or anything like that, which is incredibly impressive. Now, we'll get into some other things that this thing can do, but let me kind of clear some of this off so you can see it better, and then we'll get into the details. All right, there we go. Now you can see the clean area here. This thing is a beast. Let me run through the specs real quick. It being the P model, the AC200PL, which is part of its premium lineup of power stations. Any of their power stations with a P designation, and they've got 4 or 5 now, some of which that I have reviewed fairly recently. The P means that they use premium lithium iron phosphate cells. They are a denser cell than the standard batteries for their other power stations. And it means that the AC200L packs 2048 watt hours, and this one being the P means that they can put 2304 watt hours worth of battery in the exact same package. The dimensions and size of this thing are the exact same as the AC200L. And with that denser battery, you gain 1 pound. Only 1 pound difference between this and the standard AC200L. And I love that Bluetti is doing that with their power stations and doing the premium ones with the denser batteries, because it means you can get more power in the exact same form factor. And I mean, when you're overlanding like we do, we are an overlanding channel, camping, that sort of thing. It means that you can save space. You don't have to take up more space to get more power. You can get another almost 250 extra watt hours in the same package, which is fantastic. The AC200PL does have a 2400 watt pure sine inverter in here. So from all of these power sources here, 2400 watts, and I was pushing almost 1900 watts, and so I wasn't even coming close to that 2400 watts of output that this thing can crank out. So no matter what you throw at this, if you've got a van, it's got a microwave in it, not a problem. If you've got an RV with the heater inside, not a problem. If you're running heated blankets in your tent, not a problem. Obviously diesel heater, not a problem, as long as the diesel heater can run off this. Diesel heaters are hit and miss on whether or not they run off a power station. So some can, some can't. If yours can, not a problem with this. 12-volt fridge. In addition to everything that I showed up here, down below here was a 12-volt 55-liter fridge that was also running off of this. That can run a 12-volt fridge in my test for over 5 days, 5.5 days from my test with this thing on a 12-volt fridge. The ports on the front of this, you've got 4 standard AC outlets, 120 volt. You have this one, which is a 30 amp RV socket. So if you have a trailer or an RV or something that utilizes this type of socket for shore power, you can take this along with you and have extra power for your for your stay off grid. So that's super handy. It's got two 100-watt USB-C ports. It has two 18-watt USB-A ports. And then over here, you've got your standard 12-volt socket, 12 volts at 10 amps. And then this little guy here, this one's special. It is a 48-volt, 8-amp socket, which with Bluetti's little plug here, you can take this and actually wire in sockets in your RV, in your van, in your trailer, and power those off this port where the little normal 12-volt socket won't cut it. So you get a lot more power output from this for running ports around things, expanding USB ports, powering smaller things off of this. That's really handy to have if you've got a trailer or an RV or a van, and you can wire this in that way. And then it does have two wireless charging pads up here, which is great because you can use these ports down here to charge your camera batteries, charge your drone batteries, power Starlink Mini. You can do that there. And if you just need to charge your phone, then you can set the phones up here on top and not have to take up a charging port. So that's really handy. Now, another great feature that the AC200PL has is it is expandable. So, using the example of a van, a trailer, an RV, this is a great starting point to, say you lack the capacity to do, trailer power, and you don't want to install your own batteries and your own charging system and all that sort of stuff. Well, that's where one of these comes in. You could very easily just put these in your trailer, put these in your van, your RV, and use this to power everything without having to go through all the wiring complexities and that sort of stuff. And if you discover, this 2,300 watt hours really isn't enough. I need a little more. We're staying off grid longer. My power needs may be bigger, because I brought that microwave with me, whatever. This is expandable up to 8,000 watt hours. They've got 3 different expansion batteries that you can choose from: the B210, the B230, or the B300. All of those are compatible with this, and it's got a handy dandy little expansion port right here that you plug them into. So you can plug up to 2 of those into this to get up to 8,000 watt hours. Okay, so you can utilize all the power that's in here in a lot of different ways, but how are you going to keep it charged? Well, Bluetti has thought of that. Through Bluetti's app, you can customize how much power you're pumping into this thing on AC. You do have to go into the settings, and you go down here to advanced settings. You do have to input a code, but from here you enter the pro mode. You put the code in. You have to contact Bluetti. I'm not allowed to give it to you. And from here, I think it defaults to 10 amps, but I keep mine at 15 amps. It's just a nice middle ground. If the wiring of wherever you are can support it, you can crank this thing up to 20 amps and get almost 2,400 watts of input. What's this thing get now? 2256 watts of input. And in just over an hour, you can have this fully recharged from dead. Just over an hour. That's phenomenal. Like I said, I like to keep mine at 15 amps, which charges it at about 1,750 watts, which still, in about an hour and a half with that, you're going to get fully recharged. Cranking it up to 20 amps does put extra strain on your house wiring or wherever you may be charging this thing. It may not be able to support 20 amps, but 15 amps is pretty reasonable. And then you can also go in and change it from turbo, standard, and silent. Honestly, I don't understand why they have silent, because I'm in turbo mode at 15 amps. And it's very quiet. Very, very quiet. The fan is running, but it's not even perceptible over my voice, and maybe because I'm loud. So the app is very handy. It allows you to customize some things, allows you to tweak settings, check for firmware updates, that sort of thing. But so 2,400 watts of AC input. You've also got, Bluetti gives you everything you need. You've got, this is your DC charging adapter. It plugs in right here. From here, you can connect your solar cables or your 12 volt socket cable here. With solar, you can input up to 1,200 watts. So if you've got that much solar or close to it sitting on top of your van or on your trailer or your RV, you can just very easily wire that in to the Bluetti with the MC4 connectors and just keep this thing charged with solar. Up to 1,200 watts. That's a whole lot of solar. And honestly, on people's vans and stuff, even giant earth roamers, not many of them have that much solar power. 400 to 800 watts of solar is pretty normal for trailers, vans, those sort of things. This can handle that no problem. If you're in a pinch and you do need to charge this off 12 volt, you do get the cord for that, and that can charge this at up to 100 watts. Obviously, if you have this dead, you want to charge it off this cord. It's going to take you almost 24 hours. So don't really recommend this, but this is great in a pinch if you're driving down the road and all you're running is your fridge off of it, and you just want to keep this topped off until you get to camp. You know, your fridge isn't going to pull but maybe 50 watts when the compressor's running. So this will be more than adequate to keep it topped off if you're just running little things like that, that cycle power on and off. So that, I mean, it's a good option to have. The other way that you can charge this is with Bluetti's Charger 1. I love this thing. It's got connections here and cables that you run to your starter battery in your vehicle. You mount this close to your power station. So let's say you've got a truck built out like mine. You've got a Gladiator, maybe you've got a camper topper on the back. And again, you don't want to mess with all the wiring and stuff from lithium batteries and then a DC-DC charger and then the solar and all that sort of stuff. Now you don't have to. Now you can strap this down in the back of your rig with a topper. You don't want to get this one wet. It's not waterproof. But if you've got a topper like one of our Gladiators has, just strap this down in the back, run the Bluetti Charger 1 to it, plug it into the solar connectors, and this will charge this at, I believe, 560 watts, which is more than enough. Like when you're driving around, you're not going to be using anything driving that's going to pull enough watts that this thing can't charge this. So 560 watts, within 5 hours, if you drain this thing, 5 hours driving on an overland trip, that's a half a day for some people. But the Charger 1 is a great solution to just have a real easy power source that you're not having to go, install all the batteries and the DC-DC chargers and all the solar inputs and all that sort of stuff. I mean, this right here is a mobile package ready to go for your overlanding needs. All right, well now the big question is, how much does it cost and how long is this thing's gonna last? At the time of this recording, which is toward the end of March, this is sitting right at $18.99, which is I think $100 off the retail price of this, but right now $18.99, which puts this at 82 cents per watt hour. To me, anything under 85 is where you want to be. They run sales on this sort of stuff a lot. You can find this for less than that. But right now, at the time of this recording, it's $18.99. Bluetti does have best-in-class warranty, 5-year warranty, just straight 5-year warranty for the AC200PL. And the lithium iron phosphate batteries in here are rated at 3,000 cycles. So they say that's on average, a 10-year lifespan, and that is for the batteries to reach 80% capacity. It will still last longer than that, but your battery capacity goes from 2305 watt hours to, what's 80% of that? what, 1600 watt hours, something like that, 1700 watt hours. So it doesn't die after 3000 cycles, just the battery capacity is less. And finally, let's discuss the use cases. Because if you're a weekend warrior, you know, just going out camping for a weekend or going out overlanding for a weekend, honestly, this one's probably a bit much. I don't know that I would recommend the AC200PL for that. For that, I would recommend the Bluetti AC180P. But I think that is the sweet spot for the weekend warrior. But if you are more of a long-term, you know, long-distance overlander, you're going out on trips that are 7, 10 days, 2 weeks, a month at a time, like we like to do, this is a very viable option if you don't want to spend the time and the effort to install your own custom system with, you know, lithium batteries, DC-DC chargers, the solar connections, running all the wires and stuff for that, mounting everything. This is a great solution if you don't want to do your own. You know, typically 200 amp hour batteries is pretty comparable. That is basically the same amount of power as what this provides. And it's in a, you know, everything is in here. You don't have to add the inverter. You don't have to add USB ports everywhere. You don't have to run all the cables places. This is just all in one. And it's got the bonus of the wireless pads up here, and the different charging methods. You know, if you do your own setup, it's not portable, and you typically don't have, you know, AC power as an option. You could add that, but it's not quite as it's definitely not as powerful as this with 2400 watts of input. So if you've got that type of setup, then and you want to easily just kind of have an all-in-one package, compare it with the Charger One, boom, you're ready to go. If you are building or outfitting a trailer, and again, don't want to deal with all the wiring and stuff, you just want an all-in-one solution, boom, this is it. If you've got a van, they usually come with batteries already installed, or an RV, the same thing, and you want to just expand your ability to live off-grid for longer. With the 30 amp socket here, you can easily plug your van or RV, or even a trailer if you already have a trailer with batteries and you need to expand your capacity to be off-grid longer, use more power longer. This is a fantastic option. And like I said, expandable. So if this isn't meeting your needs, you can add the expansion batteries and grow this to take care of you however long you want to be off-grid. So in that case, that's the use cases that I personally would do this for. Now, this also is a good solution for emergency preparedness. You know, if you live in an area with power outages and you know, prone to hurricanes, that sort of thing, and you want some backup power to keep your home refrigerator running, plug a microwave into it to heat up some meals real quick, wintertime, run an electric blanket. This is a good, small, compact solution for that. You know, realistically, a home refrigerator, you'll probably get 24 hours out of a power station at 2,300 watt hour size. You know, you're not going to get, you know, much more than that, just depending on the size of your fridge, obviously. But, you know, if you need to heat up meals real quick, you can easily just use your microwave and plug it in, and, you know, 2 minutes of runtime, it's not going to drain this significantly. So for emergency preparedness, this also makes a great thing to keep around the house, and it can serve double duty. You can easily, you know, put this in your trailer, use it on weekends, use it on your trips, come home, charge it, put it in the closet, have it ready, you know, put it in the garage, whatever, have it ready in case you have a power outage. I think I covered everything. So if you've got questions, be sure and put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If you would, like, subscribe, give us the YouTube love, check out the Patreon link in the description if you want to consider supporting the channel. And for all of our merchandise, go to shopoverlandapparel.com. I will see you next time. What do you think? Oh, we did move. This is my new corner of my new garage. What do you think? I like it. It gives me a little bit more space back here. I like it better than my old setup. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.